Hey, what's going on, family? All right. Michael Augustine, what's going on, bro? What's going on? Queen of Destiny, she's here. How you doing? Good to see you. Yuri Sorzano, hello. Let's see, says, you open my eyes up so much more to life. So grateful for your blessing. Well, thank you for saying that, Yuri. I appreciate that. Definitely appreciate that. And just Giselle Rodrigo, hello. So good evening, good morning, wherever you are. So what's up? PN Dub, what's going on, sister? Good to see you. David Rich, what's going on? Ash Light, hello. Good fortunes to everyone. Dump DZ, hello. We'll be getting started here in a little bit, guys. So I'm just getting it fired up. So we'll start at 7:05. But we'll get it going. Who's that? Shay Vegas. Glad tidings. Hello. Linda Piles. Hello. How are you? Good evening. So good to see everybody here. Man, it's getting ready the year is halfway over. Can you believe it? Man, it seems like this year is just going like whoosh, like fast. But it's all good. All right, Hans, what's going on? Hans is here. He's here. He's in the house. See, it's thundering where I am. Yeah, Ashlight, it's raining here too. So we been getting a lot of rain here lately. So in Texas, when we get rain, it just means that we're gonna sweat whenever it stops, because man, it starts to get humid. Woo! It's like you can almost just like peel the air off of you. Starts to get so humid and hot. So if hell was a place, man, I think it might be Texas in the summertime. Good grief. All right, Hans. And there's Vo Vibes, my daughter. She's here. What's going on? Daughter of mine? Good to see you. Let's see. Dark Goddess says, IE Bobo. Family, what's up? What the heck does IE Bobo mean? Dark Goddess, talk to me. Y'all be throwing these words in on me, man. I'd be like, yeah, because I'm working. I'm trying to speak English. Just, I have a hard time with that a lot of days. Because it's funny, because I had somebody say to me one day about one of my videos, yeah, it sounds like you're trying to speak all proper and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, dude, I didn't grow up speaking like this. I grew up in the hood, and I had a certain dialect. So I'm bidialectal. So I've learned to speak so I can communicate. So I'm like, dude, that's all you got out of the video, that I'm like, trying to speak English in a like understandable way? That's a knock? Like, whatever, man. Go jump off. No, I ain't gonna tell him to go jump off a ledge, but I was thinking it though. Like, man, Michael Peaks, what's up? Linda Rahman, hello. Pamela Harris, how are you? Good to have you here. Let's see. Speaking Loa's language. Okay, gotcha. So that Valden language, huh? Gotcha. So I'm good with that. African spirituality is a great thing. Let's see. That's right. Bidialectal. That's what I am. Bidialectal and autodidactic. Look those up. But that's what I am. So yeah. Von Blaze, what's up, Von? Good to see you. Let's see. Ollie Allen, he's here. Ollie Allen is here. Glad to have you. So yeah. And Duchess Jones, 911, hello. Good to have you here. All right. So the family is here. Y'all coming in strong. Glad to have you. All right. It's 7:05. Let's get this party started. Sun-kissed by the moonlight. Oh, I like that. Sun-kissed by the moonlight. That's creative. I like that. Cheryl Celestine Foster. Hello. Linda Piles. C-Max 73. Do I accept Apple Pay? Linda Piles, not yet. So I don't do that. So I do PayPal and what's the other one? Cash App. So those are the ones that I accept. So let's see what's going on. Yes, let's get it going. Let's get it going. Love JJ's in the house. Love JJ's in the house. Good to have you, Love JJ. All right. So I'm Reginald Q A, in case anybody doesn't know, and I'm the founder of Kemetic Centered Living, although also the host of this live. So my sidekicks in chat, I got Love JJ, I got my daughter Voche, and I got Hans, the extraordinaire. So that's moderating today. So you guys be kind to my moderators, and my moderators will be kind to you. So my moderators are some awesome people because they are all wise in their own way, and I so appreciate them. So guys, thank you so much for being here tonight and helping out. So y'all always make the room flow. So I love it when y'all do that, and y'all answering questions that I might miss, and doing it in your own way, in your perspective, your own wisdom. I love that. So for my moderators, so thank you very much. This will be a positive experience. So please be kind to everyone in chat. That means be kind to myself and moderators, to each other. Okay, this is about love and prosperity, and all of us rising and creating a vortex of love and possibilities. So that's what it's about. The energy that we create in here and what you feel is real. Okay, and we're going to touch on that a little bit. So when we get started, if you're not nice, we will bounce you. So we don't have a problem with that. So every now and then we get some people that'll slip through the cracks and, start trying to be antagonistic or whatever. And we'll bounce to that. But those are very few and far between. I don't focus on them. But if you want to be ugly, boop, out. So don't even ask questions. So the chat window can get to moving pretty fast, guys. So I can't always see the questions because it does move so fast. So most times I'm not ignoring questions. I don't always see them. Ask them 2 or 3 times. My moderators might catch them, and then I can look at the moderators. Moderators, if y'all just put that big question mark up, then I can see y'all's. See those questions like that. That would be very helpful. Just to pick out the questions. Now you can use Super Chat to give and to donate, and it'll highlight your question as you type it into the question. You can also give via Cash App. My Cash App is $Kuakaru, and then PayPal is Beyond the Physical Me. All right, so you can give either of those ways. If I give you enlightenment today, some kind of value, hey, give back. It is about giving back and returning. So you give, and then it comes back to you. So that's also about priming the pump. A lot of times people ask why am I broke? Why do I struggle with money? And a lot of times it's because you hold on to it too tight. You're thinking in ways of lack, and you end up holding on to it so tight that that's what the universe ends up giving you back. Okay. But when you give it freely and joyfully and with gratitude, you're telling the universe, you're planting seeds is what you're doing. You're planting energetic seeds, and you're giving it to the universe. And when you do that, the universe knows what to send you back. If you're holding on to it tight, I don't have money, I'm broke, I'm this, I can't give, I can't do that, I can't. The universe is going to give you back everything to tell you that, no, you can't. So what you believe is true. So thank you, Michael. I definitely appreciate that, brother. Definitely appreciate that. So Michael gave $20 right off the bat. My man. So if you're broke, usually it's because you have a broke mentality. We're going to talk about that a little bit too. But if I give, you give, okay? And we all create a vortex of possibility and abundance. All right. Now, one of the reasons why I started my class and started doing what I was doing was because I noticed something. It started with me at first because I was like, man, my life is like, there's things that are happening in my life that are just really negative, and I'm like, it's not supposed to be going this way. And as a Christian, you're taught to pray about things. And I was wondering why, I prayed and, did all the stuff and things still never seemed to work out like they were supposed to, or they just weren't consistent enough. I would say that it was a lot of times it was hit and miss. So I started to study the ideas of that were behind religion, because I noticed that all religions have a commonality to them. Usually every religion has some form or fashion of the golden rule: do unto others as you do unto others as they do unto you, or something like that. I forget how it goes, but y'all know what I'm talking about. But that idea, because every religion has that idea, that tells me that there's a commonality to something that they're teaching. But then they start to diverge into what their different cultures and the different regions that they're in. They start to diverge on little different things, So I wanted to find out, where did that commonality come from? So I was also into the law of attraction. I started studying the law of attraction back in 2006. Okay. But and that fascinated me because it really spoke to me. The idea that thoughts become things. I saw that work in my life. When they said it, it was like, yeah, that's right. I know, because I've thought certain things, and then it comes into existence, into my life. That is very real. But I'm the type of person, if you tell me something, I can believe it. But I'm like, okay, well, where did you get that from? Where did that come from? Where can I get, because I don't necessarily want the filter of what somebody else's belief is about it. Y'all follow what I'm saying? I want to find it out for myself. And that's just, I guess, a quirk of mine. I don't know, but I got to find it out. So I started to research and study the law of attraction, started practicing a lot of the ideals. And I made a career change using those principles, from doing one job to becoming a teacher, and I used those principles. And I was like, wow, man, I was so excited. But again, they were still hit and miss. Something was happening to where I wasn't getting what I wanted every time, So what happened was in 2009. So I got a teaching job in 2007. 2008, like a year later, the district ended up having money problems. I got laid off. I'm like, what the? Hey, this is not what I was praying for, was asking for. And, and I was with a lady, and, things started to go rocky with her, and, just everything. So right at the beginning of 2009, everything just crashed for me. I got laid off. I got, ran out of money, ended up losing everything I had. I ended up living in a one-room hotel. Okay. One of those extended stay hotels, where they got the little kitchenette and all that stuff. That was my life, and dude, I could have been bitter. I could have been angry about it. But what I ended up doing was like, okay, well, I know these principles. I know about praying, and I know about it, but something wasn't right. The law of attraction, something wasn't right. Something wasn't working like it was supposed to. So what I did was I took that opportunity, rather than getting bitter. I took that opportunity to say, you know what? It was the first time in my life I had to collect unemployment. I was in my 40s then. First time in my life I had to collect unemployment. But at that point, the economy had tanked too, because that was when the real estate market had crashed. Everything was happening in the United States. So jobs were, cratering and everything. So for a year and a half, I was off, and I collected unemployment. But the blessing in that was that I was taken care of, financially. So even though I was in a one-room hotel, alone, blah, 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 I was taken care of, I had a roof over my head. I could eat, I could do this, and I could study. So I started studying this information and this knowledge that I share with you guys. And I mean, I studied for 16 to 18 hours a day. And I've told that story before, but it's the truth. I studied for 16 to 18 hours a day, all kinds of stuff, you know. But it was from the perspective of the law of attraction, but there was something that was still missing, you know. So I started practicing a lot of these ideas. And then sure enough, there was a year and a half later, I was tired of being in the hotel. I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and I'll get a job now. And I wanted to get a teaching job. So based on the principles that I was practicing, I said, you know what? I know when I get an interview, I'm gonna get hired. Bottom line, you know, that's just what's gonna happen. I filled out an application online Thursday. I finished it Friday, got an interview Monday, had a job Monday afternoon. Okay. And that's no joke. That's how I went boom, 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 boom. Okay. But I just knew it. But that was based on those principles that I was practicing. Okay. So I got the job. And then I ended up teaching again, I guess probably about 5 or 6 years, ended up teaching. And then I was ready to like start my own stuff. But bottom line is this stuff is things that I've been studying, guys, for over 15 years. And then I ended up stumbling on the Kemetic stuff because I started speaking publicly. And a friend of mine had the spiritual center that they wanted me to speak on something during Black History Month. And I wanted to bring something spiritual because I know we always talk about history in Black History Month. And that is something that is annoying to me because in the United States in Black History Month, they act like Black people started at slavery. I'm like, no, there's more to us than that. But I also didn't want to get in. I wanted to bring something about African spirituality, not just African history. I wanted to find out something about African spirituality. Now I knew that like a lot of the stuff in the Bible, it came from ancient Africa, but I never was able to connect the dots. I never found anything to connect the dots until I started really digging. Once I started digging, it was like, man, this stuff a whole world just opened up. So that's why I ended up creating the course that I have, African Spirituality Before Christianity, the Ultimate Guide. And I put in there a lot of those things that I started studying and started finding out, and the connections to the Bible, the connections to ancient Kemet, and things that I had never seen before. Okay, never found it before anywhere. All right. So at that point, it was like I also noticed that when we talk about African people, there is no mistaking that I could look at my neighborhoods in my city in Dallas, and I could look around and I could see that there was always a concentration of churches and Black people in poverty-stricken areas. Always a connection. And I noticed that. So I'm like, made me think. So then I started to think, well, even other cities that I've been around in the United States, I've seen the same thing. There's a connection between poverty and churches. Then I started to look around the world, and the connection that I saw was that poverty and churches and Christianity, there was a huge connection. So that made my antenna go up. I'm like, what is the deal? Why is that happening? And so I started again, and I was a psychology major, and I knew the idea of how I studied why people thought and did things the way that they did. So what was making people, why was there a connection between churches and poverty in the African diaspora? Why was that? And so I started to look at the messages that we were getting in church. I'm broken. I'm nothing without God. I'm a wretch. I'm, a filthy rag. I'm all of these negative things. Those were affirmations that our Black people do every single Sunday. And I went to white churches too. So I saw that there was a difference between the way things were taught in white Christian churches and the way things were taught in Black Christian churches. There is a difference, guys, big time. Okay. So once I started to notice that, it was like, this makes sense as to why our communities are so destitute a lot of times, is because we don't have confident people that can build businesses, because any business that you build has a personal development plan automatically attached to it. I don't care what your business is going to grow commensurate to your belief in yourself. Bottom line, okay? So my idea was like, okay, well, how can I help my people to transition from these negative ideas? And I know a lot of Christians think that I'm attacking Christianity when I'm teaching these ideas. I could care less. If a person wants to believe in Jesus, I honestly could care less. But the idea of a Black person worshiping a white person as God, or somebody that looks like a white person as God, I knew psychologically, just from my training in college, I knew that that was not a good combination. Okay, it just isn't. So I started to try to figure out, okay, how can I show people that how these ideas are detrimental? Okay, how these ideas are detrimental, and how they can, how these ideas are basically causing the issues in our communities, you know? And that's where I started to create my course. My course is not just about history. It's about self-development too, and understanding your spiritual connection. It's understanding what spirituality is, because a lot of times we're taught in church that spirituality and religion are the same thing, and they're not, you know? So spirituality is something we're born with, that we don't have to do anything spiritual. Religion is something that we're taught, and especially the dogma within Christianity that's taught that ends up separating people. Spirituality unites humanity. Christianity has separated humanity along race, sex, you name it. They find something in the Bible that separates people from each other. Okay. And so that's where I created my course first. And then I wanted to create something that would help people build from within. So taking these ideas, because I understood the principles that in order to build, the outside is always going to be the reflection of the inside. Okay. And if I looked in our communities, they reflected the idea of being broken, of being nothing, of being worthless, of being all of these things. That's what you saw in our communities, and the people reflected that. So how can I help people with that? So one of my agendas is it's not to bring down Christianity. I don't care to do that, because there's still some good that comes out of the religion, you know, but a lot of times it's just there's a conflict. Okay, so I'm not saying that everything about religion was bad. That's not what I meant, because I know our ancestors as slaves, they had to have something or some kind of hope, or it was a horrible existence. All right. But how do we wean ourselves from this mentality of being nothing, being worthless, and you have to look at the commonality between churches and poverty in so many of our communities. You cannot mistake that connection. The only people that do are the ones who are blind to it and don't want to see the connection. Okay. And a lot of times my Christian brothers and sisters, they are ready to fight to hold on to white Jesus than to lift their own communities. They'll rather come and attack and tear others down rather than looking at what's happening in their communities and bring people up, you know? So when I created my class, the idea of it was, I want to build people from within, show people how they can build from within so that they can build start building communities. I want to create and help millions of people to build themselves to where the communities in the African diaspora and anywhere else in the world where Christianity has affected people negatively. I want to help them build so they can start to build communities, start to build self-sustaining communities. Okay. I want to be able to build a network of business people, real estate agents, anything, any kind of businesses you can think of that people might need, that people have the confidence, the boldness, and ability to make something different that can help humanity. Okay, so it's not, to me, this has very little to do with arguing about whether or not Jesus is real. That is such a waste of time to me. Such a waste of time. So when I'm talking about my class, the African Mind Rewire, it is about building people and building humanity so we can build communities and we can create a network that will lift all people, and the tide will rise, and the boats will rise with the tide. Okay, so that's what my class. It's not just about putting down religion. That's not it, you know. But I do have to show the contrast in how we thought as Christians and how we think in the new paradigm, in the new Kemetic paradigm. Okay. So a lot of times, I knew as a school teacher, I had to show children the contrast, or they couldn't understand the difference. Because a lot of times in our world, we live relative to things. Okay, that's what's dual that's what duality is about. Okay, so that's what the African Mind Rewire is about. It's about lifting you. It's about building you from within. Okay, and that's what this channel is about. It's about helping you to understand your spiritual self, your soul, and you as a soul having a human experience, understanding that and living that as free and as beautifully and doing the things that light up your soul. That's what this is about. Okay, not arguing about. I love history, but I'm not focused on just giving history facts. That's not what it's about for me. You know. Man, I love science, astrology, numerology, and the way my mind works, I started to connect dots that I hadn't seen connected before, because when I started studying the ancient Kemetic mythology, the symbolism, there's a wealth of information within that is not spoken. Okay, you can find connections and you can find confirmations to these ideas biblically, because everything in the Bible basically came from ancient Kemet, okay, through the Greeks. Okay, so you can find confirmations of a lot of these ideas. That's why I use Bible scriptures, because I want to show people that are Christian that, hey, you don't have to relearn everything. You just have to reorient your way of thinking from the God being outside of you to understanding that you are a god or goddess. You are an extension of it. And you're here to create in the best way that suits your soul. That's it. Okay. Bottom line. So Christians, a lot of times they come to my channel, man. And usually, guys, I just delete the comments and block them, because I don't want to have to deal with that mess. So y'all, a lot of times y'all don't see that. But man, y'all, some of the things that these people will say, these good Christian people, oh my God, they can be ugly. Oh, whoo. But anyway, but I endure because I know that what I'm trying to do is build people, build my people, the African diaspora, and also build humanity. So I'm not one of those people that say this knowledge is not for white people. I don't believe that. This knowledge of anybody that has ever been Christian, Catholic, any of those denominations, this knowledge can help. And if it can build us from the inside to cause us to love each other, then we can't help but to love everybody else, you know? So if you're practicing this stuff the right way, then you can't hate. You can't be against LGBTQ community. You can't be against white people. You can't be against black people or Asian people, or you can't do it because you understand that everybody is an extension of God. And I use that term because we're familiar with it, but it's bigger than the idea that we're taught in the religion. God is not a big white dude looking down in the sky on us. Okay? It just is not a being. It's not a human-like person at all. Okay? The ancient Africans taught that. All right? So that's what it's about. Okay? So yeah. So exactly. We're here to create the best way of our soul. Absolutely. Let me go back up here. Nadine, thank you for that $20 gift. Thank you. And CMAX73 gave $5. Thank you. So guys, hey, look, every little bit helps. If you want to give. If you want to prime the pump, prime that pump. You know, you want abundance, you got to be able to think abundantly. You got to not think. You have to be abundant. Okay? So that's what it's about. So let me go up here. Oh, there was one other thing. So I've been talking about I was talking about demons. People been asking. I get that question just about every other day. You know what? If you don't believe in demons, then why is such and such and such and such? So, and this is what people don't grasp about spirituality, is that spirituality is very subjective. And that when I say subjective, that means it's your own internal experience. You know, we think that we have to connect and match with everybody else's experience for it to be real. But from the African paradigm, what's real is what your inner experience is, and it can be different from anybody else's. So that's the first thing. Understand that your experience does not have to match with everybody else. But if you don't love who you are and trust who you are as an individual, you're going to dismiss your own inner personal experience in order to connect and conform to what you think the collective's experience is. Okay? And religion does that a lot. It tells you that your experience has to be like this in order for you to be a Christian. Okay? In order for you to be a Christian, you have to believe that Jesus died and rose from the dead in 3 days. And that's the bottom line. You have to believe he is your savior, blah, blah, blah. If you don't believe those two things, you are not a Christian. And I see all these people saying, well, that's not my type of Christianity. Hell, if you don't believe those two things, you're not Christian. You're something else. Plain and simple. The Christianity tells you from the beginning what you have to believe in order to be a Christian. But that ends up putting everybody into one box and one way of thinking. It's dogmatic. Okay? So you have to be able to trust your inner experience and what it is beyond all other people and all other experience. If you don't love who you are, if you're ingesting these ideas of I'm nothing, I'm unworthy, I'm a wretch, you cannot love this. And the bottom line is you cannot be spiritual without first going through your physical experience. It cannot happen. And people in the churches try to separate physical experience from physical experience. Physical experience from spiritual experience. There is no separation. Everything you do is spiritual. Everything about you is spiritual. Everything that happens in your life potentially has a message for you, symbolically, on some level. That's where demons come in. People dream about, and they tell me they dream about demons and blah, blah, blah. But we can't touch a demon out in the real world. Well, no, I guess some people can say that people are demons. But, I guess some people might call me a demon. He's a demon. He's going to go to hell, Well, first of all, there ain't no hell. But anyway, but you, all throughout history, we have seen monsters symbolize ideas within certain spiritual systems. Okay. But that's just it. They're symbols of ideas. How do you symbolize a fear? Okay. You're going to make it look monstrous, something scary, something that's not human, something that you've never seen before. You're going to create a symbol to represent that idea. That's what demons are. And when I say that demons don't exist, I'm not saying what people will take that as is I'm saying that your experience never occurred, so that must mean you're crazy. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that the entity that can control you and is so powerful that it can harm you doesn't exist. But the symbol, the idea that you dreamed about is simply a symbol. It's a symbol that your soul is really feeding to you to make you look deeper into you and your experience. That's why dream imagery can be such a powerful tool, and people don't even grasp it. They just see the demon and go, oh, this demon was doing something to me last night in my dream. No, it was a symbol for you to examine. It's something obviously that you were afraid of, and it was a major fear. The soul is really, it does a couple of things for you when it wants to get your attention. It's going to send you something in your dream that's scary, a nightmare, if you haven't paid attention to it. Because what's happening is that the energy is building up so big that it's got to send you a nightmare in order for you to go, oh, I had this dream last night, or else you just miss it. The other way that it does is it'll send you a sexual dream. So you're in your dream and now you're sleeping. And you'll wake up and remember that. But you got a couple of those ways that it's going to shake you up in order for you to just say, oh man, what was happening in my dream? Soon as you ask that question, your higher mind, you end up connecting or trying to connect to your higher mind. And at some point, if you are aware enough, you are going to get an answer just sent to you, okay? If you ask that. So when I say demons don't exist, I don't mean that your experience did not happen. You did not see the demon or whatever monster in your dream. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that the idea is meant to make you go deeper within yourself, look into you and ask questions. The other part of that is Christianity creates demons and devils and all of that because they've had this idea of original sin, that you are born sinful. You ain't even done nothing on the earth. You haven't even lived yet, and you're already in a negative position according to Christianity and need to be saved. People carry that guilt of being sinful and wicked, being thought of as wicked. When they do something that they consider bad or sinful or negative, for them, it confirms that idea that they've been taught that they're wicked or sinful. Okay? Well, you need something to absolve you from that feeling and that guilt. If you do something bad, it wasn't me. It was the devil that made me do it. Okay? Right there, you've absolved yourself from responsibility and accountability for what happened. When you create original sin, you've got to have the other way that you could absolve yourself from responsibility on the other end. That's what the devils and demons are about on another level. Okay? Psychologically speaking. You cannot have one without the other. Original sin, devils and demons to absolve the people so they don't have to take responsibility for their fucked up actions. Plain and simple. Okay? So you got to understand that those two ideas exist they're connected to each other and they cannot exist without the other. Okay? So that again is another thing that religion has done to us, is that it has made us look at ourselves as negative and wicked. Guys, we can't love other people when we hate ourselves. One of the biggest, what do you call it? I hated to hear Christians, and I'm in a swing dance community in my area, okay, and I love swing dances, so I get out, and I haven't been able to go out in a while, but I like to get out there and do it. But the swing dance community is very Christian. And, and we just sit around, during the course of the evening and at an event, and we just talk, and people might bring up their spirituality or their religion. And, and one of the questions that will invariably come up is, I love God. Do you love God? And I always thought that was like just the weirdest question, because it's like you're projecting love on something else, but you can't even love who you are. That is a travesty. I love God. I love Jesus. Do you love Jesus? And if you don't love Jesus, then something is wrong with you. They can't love, So that kind of thinking to me is such a disconnect, that we don't love ourselves. And in African spirituality, Kemetic spirituality, the foundation of these ideas is that you are a god or goddess. That's not meant to be arrogant. It's meant to say that you are a spark of the creator in flesh. You had to be grown from the tree that originated everything. It can't be separate. You cannot be separate from the creator. It is within you. It is a part of you. That's part of what the idea of the Christ is. It's the spark that is buried within you, the spark of the creator that's buried within you, that has the potential to enlighten, to become illuminated. Okay? There's a difference between Jesus and Christ. Jesus is outside of you. Christ is a part of you every day. When you understand what that idea and what that concept means. Okay? So, all right. So I went on a filibuster there. So, But anyway, let me see. Naeem. All right, Linda. Thank you for that $20. Naeem. Thank you very much, brother Reginald. You're cracking open paradigms and bulldozing through false teachings. Ashe to you, sister. Thank you very much. In case you people, there are people in here that might not know what ashe means. If you've ever heard the term namaste, okay, namaste means the divine in me recognizes the divine in you. Well, the ashe is the Swahili equivalent of that idea. So when you say ashe, that means when you say it back to somebody, I'm recognizing the divine in you like you're recognizing the divine in me. So that's what ashe means. One level of it. Okay. All right. Let's see. Okay, guys. Let me see. So we're going to go to the top of the hour here, guys. So I'm going to answer a couple of questions here to the top of the hour. Let's see. Okay. Shoot them. If you've asked a question before, please go ahead. Let's ask it again so I can see it, so I don't have to try to scroll all the way back up. So ask again. Come on with it. Yes, Linda Rahman, Christ is a state of mind. It's a state of becoming enlightened. You can Christ every day. You can Christ every moment. When you have that aha moment, that's a Christ moment. That means you're transforming, because who you were before that aha moment, you transformed and you changed into something different. You've been reborn. You've rebirthed. Okay. That's what that idea means. So that's the idea of Christ being reborn and resurrected and all of that. When you get that aha moment, you've just been reborn, because the old you now has changed into something different consciously. All right. So definitely. That's what the Christ is. All right. The people of ancient, so Von Blaze said, the people of ancient Kemet want to reincarnate as human. If they did, why? And if that's the case, why as a soul in today's world want to evolve spiritually and not reincarnate as human? Well, from their perspective, it wasn't just about being human, Von. So there's other levels of existence. but they saw any incarnation outside of the spiritual world as an opportunity to learn and gain wisdom. So that's why that's what we come here to do, to learn as a physical form. We come here to gain wisdom. A soul gains wisdom through opposites. Okay, and this is what I mean by that. When you do something or experience something that is painful, that's when you end up gaining wisdom, when you overcome the pain. Okay, something happens to you that transforms you. Okay, you're reborn when you overcome the pain. So in that sense, the body becomes the womb for the possibility of the soul's transformation. Okay, so we incarnate to learn, and you can incarnate to other dimensions and levels of existence. We're not the only beings in the whole entire universe. That's a Christian idea. That's a religious idea that's very limited. Okay, so as a human, you help the soul evolve, and vice versa. Okay, so you're in a symbiotic relationship. All right. I hope I was able to answer your question. Are there consequences if a woman or man kills another person in self-defense? There's always consequences, okay? But when you think of a consequence, don't think of it in terms of a punishment, okay? The consequence, as far as a soul is concerned, is that you might get the opportunity to learn or feel what that person felt, okay? So in another life, y'all, because there's more than likely there's a strong emotional tie to the murder, you guys are going to be tied together in another life to work through whatever it is that caused the murder. Okay, so it's not a punishment. It's just you might switch places. Okay, in the next life, and you might do work through whatever it was in this life that you didn't. Okay, so yes, there's always consequences, but it's not meant to be a punishment. People tell me, Shauna A, people tell me that I can't connect with my African ancestors, even though I'm African American. How can I find my path to African spirituality? You've already found your path, Shauna. So you're here. So somebody telling you that you can't connect, that's not true. I mean, you connect in the way that suits you. You don't need an intermediary to tell you that how you connect. You do that for yourself. Okay. So that's the first thing. So if somebody's telling you that you can't connect, what are they trying to sell you? That they can connect you? Okay. And I don't agree with that kind of crap like that, you know? So, using your fears to basically take your money. I don't like that kind of stuff. Okay. Okay. Yep, life's choice you make, huh? Does this mean trying to tell me something? Yeah, Pamela Harris says everybody and so this is something that's natural to humans. Between 3 and 5 a.m., most people's sleep patterns break and they might awaken. Okay, that's just natural to being human. And at that time, when you awake, that's a time that you should start thinking about looking at what you were dreaming about, and then start trying to process it. So you don't have to know what the dream was about, or you don't have to be able to interpret it. But if you just start trying to analyze it, or even just ask questions about it, your higher self will start to help you connect the dots. So it might not even be consciously. You might just be going throughout your day, and then you make realizations, and the realizations are because of the stuff that you were learning while you were asleep. So it's natural for us to break that sleep pattern. You know, I find that I'm my most creative between 4 and 6 in the morning. Okay. So let's see, where I go for info, ask for proof. Where do I go for info when non-believers ask for proof? That's Justice Desire. There's so many places that you can go. Man, there's a lot of sites. So just Google it, you know. But to me, it ain't about you trying to prove that Jesus existed or didn't exist. A believer is saying that you should believe like them. They need to prove that Jesus does. Take away the Bible, and Jesus does not exist in history anywhere. Anytime anybody's telling you, and this is one of the questions that annoys the hell out, not questions, but statements. There's proof all over that Jesus existed. Many people say this. Yeah, you're saying that many people say it, but did you check it out? And tell me any source that there is that does not first have the Bible as the foundation of their proof. All of these sources go back to the Bible. And that is, how can you use the Bible to prove that Jesus existed? I'm saying that it doesn't exist, and look in the Bible. Well, no, I don't believe that. Well, no, you got to look in the Bible. No, Jesus doesn't exist outside the Bible, but you got to look in the Bible. Like, no. Show me outside of the Bible where Jesus walked the earth. And all you get about Jesus being in India, Jesus going this way, after he was 12 years old and all that, I can find the truth to that story in the ancient Kemetic mythology. Plain and simple. Horus at 12, and then Horus at 30. Younger Horus, older Horus. It's Jesus, the idea and the story of Jesus through and through. It's in the mythology and explained thoroughly in the mythology. So Jesus did not go to India or anywhere else between 12 and 30. It's two spiritual states. One is the state of when Jesus was 12 or Horus was 12, he was in the physical state and learning and becoming knowledgeable. When he transformed at 30 years old into the higher knowledge. Somebody add up 1 plus 2. What does that equal? 1 plus 2, 12. 1 plus 2. So we're talking numerology here, okay? 1 plus 2 equals 3, right? Well, in numerology, when you add a 0, that means that 3 has elevated to a higher level. So Jesus at 12 and then Jesus at 30, 12 and 30. 1 plus 2, 3, 3 plus 0 equals 30. It's a higher spiritual state in numerology. Okay. Check me on that. Okay. So yeah. All of that. Okay. Let's see. Question: is there a way to know if you fulfilled your life purpose? Usually the life purpose, excuse me. Most people think that like you're on this destination. Like you get here and it's like, I've arrived, I'm here. It's like, oh, I became enlightened about this idea. Oh, I'm through now. That's not how creation works. So your life purpose is something that's ongoing, even if you are, because I'm fulfilling my life purpose by doing this. You know, I get a chance to serve humanity in the way that lights my soul. I love teaching. I love researching. Okay. And I love enlightening other people. That's just what I do. You know, that's who I am as an educator. So I am fulfilling my purpose, but even within that purpose is learning and a journey. Okay. So you don't just reach your purpose and then stop. That's not how the universe works. The universe and consciousness is always evolving and always growing and always changing. That's just, if stagnant, the idea of perfection, that is a stagnation. Perfection is stagnation because it implies a state that you do not elevate, you do not change, that you've reached this state of just unchangingness. I don't know what else to call it. Okay. Perfection does not exist. So you won't reach your purpose and then just stop evolving. That doesn't happen. Okay, so you're always evolving, even when you reach your purpose. How do you know when you've reached your purpose? When you're living your joy daily. When you are enjoying being who you are, not doing, when you're enjoying being who you are. That I'm doing is what I'm being. It's who I am. Okay, as an educator and a teacher, I love doing this. I love spending the time here with you guys doing this. Okay, I love the people that are in my class, man, that have connected with me in my class. I love those people. I mean, that family of mine is man, it's amazing. Okay, so when you found your purpose when you are living life through your joy every day. That's how you know. Okay, and it's that simple. It's that simple. Okay. Let's see. What are some of the ways that we can expand our consciousness? Hey, man, just learn and enjoy learning. Okay. Let's see. Like Mike Butler, soul is eternal. What suits your experience best will be. Yep. That's right, Hans. That's right. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's see here. Let's see. Life is a roller coaster. Yes, it is. Life is a roller coaster. All right. Who were the Anunnaki? I don't know. That's not something that I read about that, Ali, but I don't get into it. And the reason why is because it doesn't connect to anything as far as practical application. And the stuff that I teach is about teaching you the processes of spirituality. How do you keep yourself balanced through your daily life? So that's stuff that I've studied years ago, but just read through it, but it never connected to anything exciting for me. So I know the stories, but that's about it. Let's see. Does the soul retain the knowledge the once had from past lives? Yes, soul does. So that spiritual 2K. Yes, the soul does retain knowledge from past lives. Okay. So you have the ability to tap into that. Some people call that being able to tap into the Akashic records. And you have and that's part of that is just tapping into consciousness. And in the Kemetic space, that's called Ma'at. So Ma'at means consciousness, okay, on one level. And you have an individualized Ma'at, and then you have the universal Ma'at. And you can interchange lessons and information between both. But yes, you can tap into past lives. Say, yeah, Henry Jones said, live life to the fullest. Let's see. All right, Alpha Film. All right, Alpha Film. Thank you. We're experiencing to live life. Absolutely. I walk away from Christianity, beginning my Kemetic life science journey. A lot of people are supporting me, but there's a handful of people. Yeah, and Francisco, and I understand you wanting to announce that a lot of times, but unless you just want people to like start coming at you, it's not necessary. It's not like Christianity where we're supposed to tell everybody that we're Christian and that we believe in Jesus and blah, blah, blah. That's not what this is about. This is about your personal journey. So you don't have to announce it to people. Just love you and do your journey, and you can relate to people on whatever level that they're on. Because Christians, if you tell them that you're no longer Christian, man, they're going to feel some kind of way about you, you know? So to me, I don't care to argue with them or anything like that. I'm just going to do me. And because I have another level of this knowledge, I can let them be them. If they want to believe in Jesus, go ahead. You know, if it's working for you in your life, I say more power to you. But most times it's not. Okay. But their journey is not my business. Okay. Okay, and James Redding says, what is the difference between a spirit and a soul? So spirit, you have to think of spirit as like the foundational building block of everything. That spirit is the creator, okay? And it imbues and is all through everything, okay? The soul is an individualized aspect that contains spirit. So that's one way you can look at it. Okay. So the soul contains the spark of God or that is within you. So you need both in order to exist as a human being. When you die, spirit, the spark of spirit is what leaves you. That's when you're dead. Okay. The body is dead, I should say. All right. So spirit is everything. Everything is made from spirit. It is the essence of all things. And then the soul is an individualized aspect of spirit. Okay. And the soul is made from spirit. It's like the ka becomes the container for this individualized aspect. Okay. What the ancient Africans called it, or ancient Kemetics called it. Let's see. Did you get the vaccine? No, I didn't. And don't plan on it. But, to each his own. I'm planning on traveling outside the country next year, so I might end up having to get it. But it's neither here nor there. I don't believe that any vaccine is more power than my own ability to believe that I'm well. So automatically, I'm well. So I'm healthy. You're welcome, Spiritual 2K. You are most welcome. Thank you for the question. It was a good one. Let's see. Is spirit and soul different, or are they the same? Okay, I think I had just answered that, Alan. So the difference between spirit and soul. All right. I gotta know something. I'm trying. Yeah, if y'all, one of the things, if you guys want a really simplified way to really learn about your purpose, somebody was asking about that earlier. You want to be guided to that. Voche does birth chart readings that are like amazing, and they're like, I call a birth chart reading like it is a God, what was that? Now just drew a blank. It's like a cheat code. That's it. It's like a cheat code to life. So you can get that reading and know what your gifts are, or the possibility of your gifts, know what you can develop. You can know what your difficulties are going to be in life. And usually the difficulties that you're going to have in life are the ones to make you rise and develop who you are. You can know what directions that you need to have, what your strengths and weaknesses are, what you might need to work on. So a birth chart reading could be instrumental to helping you to find your purpose and understand how you need to develop. So it is definitely a cheat code, So Voche, if you would, just put your link up in the chat here, so people can find that. So, but she does a phenomenal job with the birth chart reading, guys. Phenomenal. Let's see. All right. I got 81 likes and I got 145 people. So can y'all help me out, people? Hit that like button. Help a brother out. Let's see. All right, Voche, thank you for putting that link up there. All right, so that's Voche's link. So if y'all would be interested in the birth chart reading, you can click that link and go to her site. And she does birth chart readings, also does tarot readings as well. So very good. Let's see. Love JJ says, does the soul have to keep coming back? A soul will keep coming back if it does not learn its lessons, or if it's has a strong emotional tie to a life experience. Like we had mentioned, somebody asked a question about murdering another person. Usually that entails something emotionally, a strong emotion that's tied to that. Those strong emotions keep you tied to the physical plane. Okay, so you'll reincarnate as long as you have strong emotions that you have to resolve. Okay, so you don't have to reincarnate on Earth, but until you resolve those issues, your life issues with your family, your friends, your loved ones, your lovers, you're going to tie yourself here. So that's where people be getting a lot of the sickness and illness from, is that the chakras are unbalanced, because they're not resolving these energetic blocks is a lot of times what's happening. Let's see. Okay. The planets have an effect on our body clock. Ali says, does the planets have an effect on our body clock? Yes. The planets are actually represented inside our physical body. So that's why birth chart reading is so relevant. That's what the question of as above, so below represents. Because as above, the planets and the stars, below is our physical. They're represented in our physical body, and that's where all the planets are tied to different areas of our body. Okay, so yes, they have an effect. So absolutely. Yep, evolve or repeat. That is correct. Evolve or repeat. Let's see. So yeah. Okay. Ignorant. Okay. Let's see. Okay, I'm looking. Eugene Dorsey. I see that comment, Eugene Dorsey. Yeah, Von Blaze. That's where I was. Von Blaze says, "Is there a way us as souls in human form can find out what our contract is, and how do we know my contract is fulfilled?" Yeah, that's what a birth chart reading would do for you, Von Blaze. Is that you could find out what your difficulties and the things that you're dealing with in life. Usually, those difficulties are because of some kind of a contract that you need to fulfill, or it can be tied to that, with people and stuff like that. So a birth chart reading can actually help you with that, Vaughn, very much so. Let's see. And Queen of Destiny says, I'm coming for you soon. All right, Nadine. Let's see. Dulce Maria, what's going on? Let's see. So our ancestors don't. Let's see. DA, so our ancestors don't reincarnate. Actually, you are your ancestors. You're reincarnating. You're on that cycle. So a lot of us are the ancestors reincarnated. Okay? Plain and simple. Let's see. Lynch, I said, what is your North Node sign? I don't even remember. So you got to ask Voche about that one. So I can't even remember what my North Node sign is. Zadicus Zoranda says, what do you mean by a contract? So a contract is, that's just what we call it. But before you come to this world as a soul, you lay out the different lessons, major lessons that you want to learn. You pick your parents, you pick the loved ones that you're going to enter, the major interactions with loved ones, and y'all's lessons usually intertwine. Okay, so we would call that the intertwining of lessons, the contract, because you're teaching them something and they're going to teach you something. Okay, so that's what we say. We just call it a contract, but that's just a way that we try to put a name on something that's metaphysical. Okay, if that makes any sense. Okay, let's see. I'm hanging a little longer because I know I was long-winded in talking, guys. So that's why I'm trying to get a few more questions here. So my moderators, are y'all okay for a few minutes longer? So I just wanted to try to get some questions because I know I was talking and gabbing for a long time. So let's see. Can one lose their soul in Kemetic science? No, you are a soul. How can you lose your soul? So Landon Sink asked that. So no, you are a soul. You can't lose what you are. Let's see. Hey, okay. Why isn't there a church for Kemetic teaching? I don't know. So this stuff is still pretty new. So but there are. I know that there are some organizations like in the Northeast that kind of have like churches or spiritual centers. But for me, that's not something that I want to do. So I wouldn't want to do a church. Let's see. Bald-headed like me. with me. Almost every day. Sorry. Let's see. Let's see. Kido says, if you're bald headed like me, does that have anything to do with me connecting to the cosmos? I heard another day that's our antennas. Brother, if that was true, I've been disconnected a long time ago. That's a good question, though. Good question. The two souls have met in previous lives. Meet, can they recognize it? Yes. Obuino says, if two souls have met in a previous life, can they recognize each other in this life? Yes, absolutely. And you recognize each other by how you feel. There are some times that you just have this like instant connection with a person, and it doesn't have to be a lover. It can be just friends, close friends, it might be a brother or sister or uncle or aunt, but you can recognize people that you had a close relationship and a strong relationship with in this life, and sometimes you just have an affinity for them. Sometimes you have an instant dislike for somebody. That's usually because a lot of times you on an energetic level. Excuse me, on an energetic level, you have had a life before that y'all had some type of a conflict, that you're probably going to end up having to work through in this life, So yeah, so two souls can absolutely recognize each other. Let's see. Buddhism, DA says Buddhism seems like it's very similar to Kemetic teachings. Is that true? Yes. Buddhism is actually there's a connection to ancient Buddhism and African spirituality. Okay, so Buddha and Putha, so Ptah. So those two names are very, very similar. Okay, just different ways that they're pronounced because of the language, but they're how do I say, linguistically they're connected. Okay, hold on. All right. Okay. Let's see. More. Let's see. What can be done for a soul to not keep reincarnating again? Just work through your life issues. Work through the strong issues that you have, being angry at people, not reconciling your relationships. Those keep you tied to the earth. So that's how you keep from reincarnating. You learn to love and become balanced. Not this pious kind of love. You learn to love and be just be with people. I mean, just be love. Let's see. Is it okay to open your third eye chakra? Yeah, it's okay. So that's just something that happens naturally, spiritual 2K. And thank you for that gift. So all of you that has given tonight, I definitely appreciate your gift and generosity. So thank you very much. Makes me feel good, like you're getting something from it. So I appreciate that. No such thing as a one world religion. Nope. So when you talk about religion, you're talking about basically binding everybody together. That's what religion means. Actually, thought I had gone. Let's see. See, what's more accurate or important, numerology or birth chart? Both of them are good. So one, actually, I know Voche does both of them, but for older people, a numerology reading might be better. So I say if somebody 50 and older, because numerology is more about the energies that is moving within your life and different phases of it. So a younger person, a birth chart reading could be more specific to how they are moving through life and the things that they can see coming ahead of them. Okay, so both of them can be good. All right. Let's see. David Rich says, "Is deja vu a feeling of past lives?" No, that's not necessarily true. So deja vu is a recognition that time is not linear. Okay, so in today's idea of time is only they call it the arrow of time, that it only moves forward. But deja vu, but outside of our physical body, time is not linear. Everything is present in one moment. So you think of the past and the present as really different perspectives of now. It is really what it is. But deja vu is recognized when you have deja vu. It's a recognition that you've diverged timelines. That it's actually a positive, that you're actually manifesting and creating something, and you've actually diverged timelines. So you met at the point that you recognize, and when you recognize that deja vu point, that, oh man, this has happened before. That is a point that you are now diverging to something else that you're going towards. So that's the way that you can look at deja vu. Very powerful. It's a good sign. It's a good sign. Let's see. Keto says, will any chakra stones work? I purchased some, but they wasn't expensive. So will they work? It doesn't matter how the money, or that's an arbitrary deal. So it doesn't matter about the cost of them. So they just need to be, they probably need to be charged and cleansed energetically. So you can look online and find out how to do that. But the cost of them doesn't matter. So if you can get a good deal, hey, let's see. Mike Butler, thank you for that $5 gift, brother. Definitely appreciate you. So where does the soul go after it's completed its life issues and cycles? That's an excellent question. Appreciate that question. But you can actually incarnate into other levels of existence. So you think of the life on Earth as like a game, okay? And this game has certain rules to it. Once you learn the rules of this game, and I guess you kind of win it in a sense, and you're able to transition away from it, then you can elevate to other levels of consciousness. Okay, you can elevate to other levels of experience. Some of them might be physical, some of them might not. Some of them might be quasi-physical compared to the solidity that we are. Okay, but you never stop evolving. Your consciousness doesn't go into oblivion, and you just stop existing. Okay, so that's one way to look at it. Great question. Great question. Yeah, Von Blaze says, with the law of attraction and manifesting, do you believe crystals and incense can help strengthen the possibility of manifesting your desires? Are they needed? They're not necessarily needed, but they can put you in a certain mood, and the crystals can actually balance your energies in a certain way. Okay, but it's all about your vibration. All right, and it's about the frequency that you're on. So if you got an incense and you're burning an incense, and it puts you in a good mood, then that's helping you to manifest yourself if you're focused on in that moment. Okay, so that's what those things can do. And like I say, the crystals can help you with just different energies. So I don't know if y'all can see the colors of these very good. So this is a rose quartz crystal, and I can't even remember what this one is. And then this is an amethyst. But they can help you, and I put these here near me, so it helps me to balance energies, and it helps me to tap into the higher energies. So that's what I use those for. Okay, and I just keep them near me. David Rich gave $9.99. Thank you, David. I definitely appreciate that. And Alpha Film gave, I guess that's £5. So thank you very much, Alpha Film. That's very appreciated. And Bruce, I can't see that last name I don't know why they do that on these cards, man. I can't see those. But Bruce gave $19.99. Thank you very much, Bruce. I definitely appreciate it, brother. So all you guys that are willing to give, I definitely appreciate that. All right. Let's see. All right, David Rich, I'm glad that helped you. All right. Okay. Moderators, are y'all okay with going to the bottom of the hour? So give me a thumbs up if you're okay with that, a thumbs down if you're not, and then we can, then we'll just, so that's about 10 more minutes. So I'll answer, so I'm willing to stay and answer for 10 more minutes. My moderators are willing to be here with me. Let's see. I need a charge. Let's see. IG says I brought a rose quartz chain. Do I need to charge it as well? You usually do, because you want to charge it with your energy, okay? And you want to imprint it with your energy, because whoever created the chain or created the rose quartz chain, they have their energy imprinted in it. So you want to recharge it for you, so you can have your energy imprinted in it. You're welcome, Von Blaze. You are welcome. Let's see. Fort Law, what's up, brother? Fort Law's here. Let's see. And Fort Law, that's a good question. It says, would you suggest these teachings to all religions? That's the thing about the Kemetic teachings. They can connect and they can go right alongside with anybody's religion. They won't. True spirituality would not put you at odds against another spiritual system. Okay. So they can coexist with all religions. But the problem with religions is the dogma. Because what is going to happen is you're going to run up against somebody that says this is the way it has to be in order for you to be in this religion. And if you don't, like, for instance, with Christianity and the LGBTQ community, okay? The LGBT community is for the most part outcast in Christianity. Well, if you love all people and you love humanity, why would you love somebody or not love somebody that's human? Period. Okay. So I hear people say, well, I agree with a lot of what you say, but I can't agree with you and your stance on gays and the LGBT community. Fine, go somewhere else. Okay. But from my perspective, I love all people, and all people have the right to exist as they are. They don't have to live your way. Okay. So live life on your terms. All right. So thank you. Good question. All right, Vaughn, thank you for that gift, Vaughn. $4.99. Thank you. Doll 43. Thank you for your knowledge. Thank you for your gift, $5. Doll 43. Definitely appreciate that. So good question, Fort Law. I appreciate that, brother. Let's see. Let's see. Moldavite. Eugene Dorr said, Moldavite, I heard, is a mother. Use it at your own risk. Nah, you don't have to be afraid of it. You don't have to be afraid of it. But look it up and see what it can use for. Man, I use rose quartz. I use clear crystals, lapis lazuli, obsidian. So a lot of these crystals, I sleep with crystals under my pillow. I sleep with obsidian, lapis lazuli, and a quartz crystal under my pillow. And I do that because it helps focus my dreams and balance my energy as I'm asleep. So I've done that for years. Let's see. Let's see. DH says, is there a God, or do we all make up one universal consciousness? So the religious idea of God does not exist. The idea of a big white dude in the sky looking down on us while we masturbate and ready to send us to hell, that dude don't exist. So, but consciousness is in the story. So the idea of I am. Remember in the Bible, Moses asked when he was, at the burning bush, what do I call you? And God at the burning bush says, I am. I am that I am. Okay. And that means if you put a comma there, I am, comma, that, or I'm sorry, I am that, comma, I am. Everything is the creator. Everything is God in its form. And everything is conscious in its form. If it was not conscious, we could not even experience it. So this mouse, this phone, everything is conscious in its own way. A rock, a crystal is conscious in its own way. This is God in its form. Okay? This is God in its form. Okay? Everything. God is. Consciousness is. Period. That's the way the ancient Africans looked at it, the way the Kemetic system looks at it. Okay? All right. See. Let's see. Never leave the house without that. See, Darius said, never leave the house without those crystals. I hear you. I'm with you on that. Let's see. Would you agree to apply this teaching and information to all religions? To me, Fort Law, it's not a matter of me trying to apply it to a religion. It's about applying it to my life, and that's what I want to help people do, is to apply these ideas to their life. And it's not hard. Okay. The ideas are not hard, but living them might be difficult if we don't know how to use it and apply it. So that's why I say, for me, I want to create 1 million people that can literally create businesses and then create communities and create wealth and create just a vortex of positive, beautiful people working together. That's what I want to create. That's the foundation of what I'm creating with this knowledge. Okay. So it doesn't have to belong to a religion. You don't have to belong to a religion. You don't even have to say you're a Kemetic, because ultimately these ideas go beyond any religious or spiritual system. They're just the universal laws. But I like the way I use Kemetic knowledge, because it can extract people from the bondage of Christianity. It is where Christianity came from. But the ideas are even larger than the Kemetic teachings. I mean, it's just, they give you a formula and form in which to learn these ideas. So that's why I like it. Okay. There's no other system on the planet that can give you the answers that you're looking for about Christianity. None. Because ancient Kemetic teachings are where the Bible and the Gnostics and the Romans got all their knowledge and information, every bit of it. Okay. So all three Abrahamic religions, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, all come from ancient Kemet. All come from, they have a common symbolic source. Okay. In ancient Kemet. Yes, Imani Niti, thank you for that $10 gift. And it says you create your reality through the words I am. Yeah, you create your reality through your beliefs. Okay, and that's why I say people that believe in demons, that's their reality, and they create it through that. So absolutely, I am. What do you say you are? That's what the universe. That's how the universe reacts and resides within you. Okay, or reacts to you. Okay, I am broke. I hold on to my money. I am. The struggle is real. I am struggle. Okay. If you're repeating those mantras every day, that's why you're broke. Okay. You have to let go, and you have to prime the pump. And what I say when I'm saying prime the pump, you have to. The metaphor or the analogy is the old pump system where you have to, a well pump, where you have to put a little water in the suction valve in order to make it pump the water from the ground from in the well. Giving a little is priming the pump. It's like putting the water in the suction valve. If you're not practicing that, you're going to be broke if you're holding on to every dime and every dollar. And I say that because that poverty is something that is so much a part of the African diaspora. We think that that's the way it's supposed to be. We've made it that to be broke is more spiritual. Please. Nope. Don't agree. Okay. Let's see. So thank you for that, Amani. Definitely appreciate it. That was a good statement there. All right, guys. We got one more minute. Let's see. Okay, that was the Voche. Let's see. You're not broke, and they do not give. Yeah, that's. I don't focus on the Europeans, so I'm trying to focus on the Africans. So that's what I'm trying to do. So, all right. Thank you, Spiritual 2K. Thank you very much for priming that pump. We are more power in us, and we must be willing to be who we are. Absolutely. Absolutely. So yeah, let's see. Be broke to believe it. Nope, don't have to be broke to be spiritual. That is not a prerequisite. Yep, I'd agree with that, Ahadi Mod. Obey yourself first. Make yourself first. Love you, and then you can extend that love to others. So, all right. On that note, guys, it's 8:30, so we've been here for an hour and a half. So thank you guys so much. All of you guys that gave, thank you so much. I definitely appreciate you. My moderators, Hans, Love, JJ, and Voche, thank you guys so much for being here. Y'all make this a really great experience. I always enjoy it when you guys are here. So definitely thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So we're going to sign off until next time. So no, I'm going to get Voche. Voche, next month is next week is your week. So I'm putting her on the spot. So next Wednesday, Voche, you're gonna. So she's gonna bring some teaching to us. So I'll let y'all know. And usually I put her on Zoom, so I'm not able to put a link up before the meeting, but I'll put it in the community. I'll post in the community area. Okay. And make sure that you guys are just looking out for that post. So, but be here next Wednesday. We're going to do this again at 7 p.m. Eastern time, and I'm sorry, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. So we'll be here next week, 1 a.m. UK. All right. So all right. Voche says she stays ready. I ain't mad at you. Go ahead, daughter of mine. All right, guys. Y'all have a great night, and we'll see y'all next week, okay? And Voche is going to bring something astrology-wise, so y'all be ready. All right? All right. Good night.